up? What's poppin' with you? It's your girl Mocha Baby, and welcome back to my channel. Before we get started, I just have to send a special shout out to all my new subscribers. Hey, what's poppin' with you guys? Thank you so much for taking time out of your life to listen to me with this beautiful face and decide that you want to hit that red box down below. I appreciate you from the pit of my heart. And I know that you're going to love it here because this is where the magic lives. If you've been following me for some time, you already know how we get it done. You already know that we're just one big happy lit family. And that's just what it is here on Mocha's channel. So, now that we got that out the way, we're going to dive into what I think is a very controversial topic. It comes from a picture that I saw maybe 2-3 days ago on Facebook that a friend had shared on his page. And I'm going to pull it up on my Amazon Fire 7 tablet. Shout out to Amazon. You guys can sponsor me at any time. Hey, Amazon. But at any rate, I'm going to pull it up and I'm going to attempt to show it to you guys. I don't know how clear it will be, but I hope that you can see some of it. And I'm going to describe the picture to you. So, what the artist did was, it was a mother, a daughter, and a son. And then in the background, it was a man that, is a shadow with one of those old school sticks with the scarf wrapped around it, and he is walking out of the door. Now there is thought bubbles on top of the mother, daughter, and beside the son's head. And the mother's reads, "I don't need a man." The daughters read, "I don't want a man." And the sons read, "I don't want to be a man." And then on the table that they're sitting at, it says the Domino Effect. And what really got my attention was the caption that the person shared. And it was, and I quote, "The generational seeds that we plant." So based off of this picture, what I believe and what is believed that the artist was trying to depict with this picture is that, we start generational curses with the seeds that we put in the ground, and then it comes up through the trees and through the branches, and it continues to fester and grow and keeps going and going and going until, we get what's exactly in this picture. Now I definitely have an opinion about this piece, because I was initially going to say it, as a post on Facebook, but I decided against that because first of all, it was way too much to type out. Then, so I decided, you know what? I'm going to do a vlog about it. And, that way we can really get a discussion going and, really see what's really good in the hood. So, I was reading through some of the comments, and when it was one comment in particular that struck a nerve. And I can't remember who said it, and I can't remember verbatim, word for word, what it was, but it was something along the lines of basically saying like, if you're doing it the right way, you get married, then you have children, then these type of things won't happen, and you won't have to be like the mother that is depicted here in this picture. And that struck a nerve, because I don't understand how you can blame a mother for being strong for her children when said man decides that he no longer wants to take responsibility for his family, so he ups and leaves for a set of different reasons, whatever they may be, they result in him leaving. So that part kind of just didn't sit well with me. And then also, if you want to go with the whole doing it the right way, because if you are a saint or a believer and you believe in God in any kind of way, and you read your Bible, then you know that in the Bible there are a set of instructions that are laid out nice and pretty for us to follow in our walk through life. Now, do we always do it? Absolutely not. Do we fall short from it? Absolutely. Does it make us a bad person regardless of what they want you to believe? Absolutely not. But that is a topic for a different video, which I may dive into at some other time. But for the sake of this discussion and for the sake of this video, we're just going to just scratch that surface and just keep that part for now at face value, with doing it the right way and doing it the right thing. Because I can't dive into that too much, because I am an unwed mother, so we're definitely going to discuss some things about that on this channel as well. But getting back to the topic at hand, the reason why this comment hit such a nerve with me is because I am a product of parents doing it the right way. My mother and my father, they did it the right way. They got married before I was conceived and brought into this world. I was not brought into this world out of wedlock, or my mother was not married when she had me. She was very much married, very much in love with her husband. Things were going great. They had the dream, the picket fence, all that. They had it. My mother was the type of woman that she took care of home. She made sure the dishes was clean, made sure his clothes was clean, made sure he had food on his table, just took care of home, in short. She of course is a baddie. Definitely knew how to bust it down for a real nigga, because that's how I got here. Absolutely. So we know that was not the issue here at all. From the outside looking in, they had the perfect fairy tale life, right? I would have thought so if I was, because I was, a kid back then. So, I thought we was rich. I used to say, I'm like, are we rich? And I'm be like, no. But that's what I thought, because we lived so awesome. And, but, we had this great life, but he still, at some point, decided that he wanted to step outside the marriage with this woman, and have outside children with this same hoe. Now, I will say that at first, she did not know that my father was a married man. But then once she found out, she continued to pursue a relationship with my father. And I will say it was not completely her fault. It was his fault just as much as it was her fault, because she took him, but then he allowed himself to be taken. So it's just, oh so crazy to me for people to make statements like that when they know that there are cases when people do follow the rules, but things still do happen. And that's just one situation that I know of, but that's the one that is the most closest to me, that she did not mind me sharing her story, because I asked her before I started filming this for you guys, for the sake of this conversation, and she said that she was cool with it. So I'm trying to illustrate a point with my mother's story, with my mother and my father's story. It's that just because things appear to have been done in the correct way still does not mean that they may not end on a sour note, which it wasn't just sour with my mama and daddy. That shit was right. He began to treat her badly, which he began to spend more time with this other woman, and it did lead to a divorce, of no fault of my mother, which he did, much later on admit that, it was not my mother. He inevitably, led her down the road where she wanted a divorce. Now, it was a comment that said something about women filing for divorce. Now, my mother did not, even though she wanted to. My father was the one that filed for the divorce in this situation. So it's not always that cut and dry. It's not always that black and white. Sometimes it's that gray area, or in my case, that purple area, where, it's not always that simple or that clear, because it certainly was not in this situation. So that comment definitely hit all the wrong buttons. Now, before I go any further, I just talked about the 85 to 90% of the time in this kind of situation where it is in fact the man that decides to leave. And the reason I bring that up is because I saw a comment that said something about, men don't just voluntarily leave the home. Men don't just, voluntarily decide that they do not want their families. And I was confused about that too, because 85 to 95% of the time, it is the man who decides that he does not want it anymore. It is the man that decides to, for whatever reason, to walk off from home and to never return, and to leave his girlfriend and to leave his wife with the children, for her to figure out, okay, where do I go from here? We've been together X amount of years, and we've been doing this together for X amount of years, and now all of a sudden I'm by myself. So at this point, I don't need a man. At this point, I got to be strong for my children. I got to edify myself and build myself up for them, so I can see them get grown, you feel me? So I lost in translation for the most part on this picture. I don't see where it's planting generational sees at all. I just see where it's a woman, and in this particular case, a black woman being strong because her black man left her for an amount of different reasons. Now we're going to get into the 10 to 15% as to where the picture that's depicted here in this discussion is true, because there are instances where Shawty be crazy. There are instances where homegirl pushes baby daddy away or pushes hubby away. There are those isolated instances where that does happen. So I don't want it to just seem like I'm bashing men, because being a product of what I came from, even though that happened to my mother, even though my daddy left my mother, she never did, teach me to hate men. She never did, she wasn't male bashing around me. My mother didn't do those sorts of things. Did she teach me to be independent? Absolutely. Did she teach me that, no, you don't need a man, or you shouldn't need a man, but you should want a man. There's a big difference between need and want. You should never need anything but God. But want, yeah, it's cool. You can want a man, if that is something that you want. So my mother never taught me these types of things about bashing a man and hating men and, the black man this and black man that. She never taught me that, because even after 2 failed marriages, it's just the second one I didn't talk about, but it was another one, she still believes in the sanctity of marriage, and she still herself wants to get married again, and she wants me to be married, even though I'm sour as hell on the idea due to what I've seen with her and other women. I don't quite know where I stand when we start talking about, getting married and these sorts of things, just due to what I've seen in my own personal experiences with the male species. But do I hate men? No, I don't hate them at all. Do I think that they're all wired a certain kind of way? Absolutely. But that's also a topic for another video. Now we're going to get back into that 10 to 15% where Shawty is crazy. And it's not only that Shawty could be crazy, but it's also, I could give an example of when Shawty has just as good a job as homie. So in this case, it might turn into a competition, maybe. She may feel as if, oh, I don't need you per se. Make him feel like he's less than a man, run him off. Now, there are those kinds of instances where, there is a good man, but the good man gets with a wrong woman, and that woman inevitably pushes him away just because, they didn't click to begin with. He probably got with her because she had a big booty, titty set up, perky or whatever, but really he should have looked at something deeper. But, we all do it sometimes, it's life. But it's just like, Shawty was tripping. Now, those are the cases where Shawty might do instill in her children, look here, I don't want no man, so you don't need no man, and you don't even need to be a man. Now, there are instances where that does happen, But I do believe that that is far in between, and then that is poison. That is not the norm. That's just somebody that's just being evil, manipulative, and vindictive. That is not the what all black women do. Is not coming from a place of manipulation and being vindictive and being petty. It's coming, in most women, it's coming from a place of manning up, even though they're not a man, but manning up as a woman to be both mommy and daddy, because daddy decided that he wanted to hit the A train back to Magic City, or whatever the case may be. So baby mom had to do what baby mom had to do. And as far as baby mom that's crazy need to get somewhere, sit down, and realize that she crazy and she needs some help. She needs to go on ahead and lay it on out, all out on the couch. Just lay it on out and let everybody know why you're so crazy. Just let us know that. So that way, you know, you can stop planting them poisonous generational seeds in your children. Because you're going to make your children grow up crazy and make your son not want to be a man, and because you overbearing, and make him gay and make your daughter gay, and it's just a whole bunch of craziness. And I do think I might do another part to this at a later date and kind of dive into some more of those generational seeds, where when the mother is crazy and psychopathic, and kind of dive deeper into that side as well. But for the most part, I don't agree with this picture. And I'm going to end this video right here. But before I do, if you want to hear more of these type of topics, comment down below and let me know what you want to chop it up about, because there's so many different things going on in the world, so many different things going on in the black and brown community that needs to be discussed, that needs to be brought to the limelight, I feel like. And you know, since this is the kind of channel where I do variety, I do fun stuff, I do ratchet stuff, I do spiritual stuff, I do product reviews, I do, you know, everything on this channel. But I always for sure want to keep it real as well. So let's bring some real topics in and get these things started. So comment some of those things down below. Anything else before I go? Let's see. I might start asking a random question, but I don't have one for this video. But by the time I do another one, I will start asking random questions. Just to kind of get some inner reaction going a bit. But I think I've hit on everything that I wanted to hit on for now. If you are not subscribed to this beautiful personality and a lovely face, what are you waiting for, boo? Hit that red box down there, or over here, or maybe even over there, depending on how or what you're watching me on. Then, after that, ring that bell so you can be notified every time I post. And you can get this piping hot juiciness delivered straight to your devices. Alright, my lovelies. Stay blessed, stay fly, and I will see y'all on the other side. Later, Mocha Lattes.